Hello. Today we're going to be talking about writing expressions with multiple operations, specifically 2 or 3 operations. If you haven't already watched the video on writing expressions with one operation, go ahead and pause this and pull that video up now. You're going to need to know that in order to do well on this video. Great. When we are writing, when we are writing expressions with multiple operations, what we need to remember is that these expressions are a recipe. They're a recipe that's going to tell us exactly how to get to the answer. And like any good recipe, you have to follow the steps. What do I mean by that? Let's take a look here. This first problem says write an expression for the sequence of operations described below, add t and s, and then multiply 3 by the result. This here is our first step. Add t and s. So our expression is going to be t plus s. And then we multiply 3 by the result. That result refers to t plus s. So we're going to have this. But be super careful and pay attention to your order of operations. PEMDAS. That's an A. PEMDAS. In this expression, according to our order of operations, we would multiply before we added or subtracted. So as written, we have 3 times t plus s. But that's not what the recipe asked for. The recipe wants us to add t and s first. So how do we make sure that we're adding t and s first? We focus on this first letter, parentheses. And I put some parentheses around t plus s. Now I know that I'm going to add t and s and then multiply 3 times the result. Let's take a look at another one. Write an expression for the sequence of operations described below. Add v to 5 and then divide 3 by the result. So this is our first step. This is our second step. So I'm going to go v plus 5. Now, we see the phrase divide by 3, so we might be particularly interested in doing this. But this is not correct. We want to divide 3 by the result. So we wanted to have 3 divided by the result. So what we're actually interested in is this. 3 divided by v plus 5. But again, I want to make sure we're adding v and 5 first, and division comes before addition or subtraction. So just like before, I'm going to put some parentheses around v plus 5. If I wanted to, I could also write this as a fraction. 3 divided by v plus 5. Either one of these is correct. Let's try 2 more. We want to add 7 and m and then subtract n from the result. So we're going to do 7 plus m. That's my first step. And then I subtract n from the result. I'm taking n away from the result. So I'm first adding 7 plus m, and then I'm subtracting n. And that's my answer. This last one is slightly trickier. We want to subtract c from 3. Some people might look at this and think, oh, c minus 3, because you have the word subtract and then you have c and 3. That is not correct. Just like we had up here, we had to pay attention to how things were worded. Here, we are subtracting c from 3. So we have 3, and then we're subtracting c. That's our first step. Put that in parentheses. And then subtract 10 from the result. So we have the result, and we're taking away 10. It'll look like that.